Hi everyone. In the last session, I gave the description of Arduino and the specifications. In this session, we will discuss about the programming of Arduino and some basic examples. So, these are the topics we will cover in this session: program structure, data types, control statements, loops, functions, string, array, type, Arduino functions, interrupts, serial communication, I2C, SPI, blink LED, LED control, LED fade, Arduino IDE. So let's start with the first topic. So program structure. So in Arduino program structure, like all the rules which are applied for C. So whatever the C rules and guidelines is, that will be applicable in Arduino IDE also. But here we don't have any main function. So we have only the functions called two mandatory functions, that are setup and loop. So let's see the snippet of this one. So hash includes software serial.h. So software serial.h is a predefined library in Arduino IDE. So here we have library inclusion. We can include a user defined libraries also by using hash include. Next we will declare these preprocessor directives like macros. After that we can define any global variables okay. So after this we have setup function. So setup function normally used for installation and configuration. So setup will execute only once when we switch on the Arduino board. So after executing the setup function, control goes to the loop function. So here loop is our main function. So whatever the main program is that will be written in this loop function. Okay. So after executing the loop in the last instruction of this loop, so control goes to the first instruction of the loop only, because the loop it goes on iterative. So the leave function it goes on iterative until we switch on the Arduino board. So I will repeat again. So setup will execute only once when we switch on the Arduino board. Okay, setup function will be used for installation and configuration. After executing the setup function, control goes to the loop function. So loop is our main function. So after executing the last instruction in this loop function, control goes to the first instruction of the loop. So it goes on iterative until we switch on the Arduino board. Okay, next we have the data types. Whatever the data types present in C, that will be there. So I have written some of them. So char, unsigned char, int, unsigned int, long, double, float, boolean. Next, the control statements. So the control statement how we use in Arduino IDE, we will discuss that one. So if else, nested is nothing but if like that. So here we go with the condition statement. If of digital rate of check equal to 0. So if condition goes to true, then only the if block will be executed. If not, so if the if condition is false, then control goes to the else part. So then else part will be executed. So in this if condition we can observe the digital read of check. So if the written value of digital read is 0, then only the if condition goes true, or else the control goes to the else part. In this condition we have switch off the if the digital read is true. So then we are making the LED low, means we are switch off in the LED. Okay. So if not true, then we are making the LED high, means we are switch on the LED in this scenario. Okay. Next, loops. Loops we can use like for, while, do while. So in this program we have three for loops. So every for loop will be executed for 5 times. Okay, loop for iterative for 5 times. So here in every for loop we are making the LED high for some time duration. So in this first for loop we are giving the time duration of 1 second, and 1 second on and 1 second off. Okay, so in the next for loop we have given the LED will be glowed for 5 seconds and be off for 5 seconds. Okay, 5000 milliseconds is nothing but equal to 5 seconds. Next we have the second for third for loop. In this also we are given the duration of 500 milliseconds, only 500 milliseconds, half minute we can say. So like that we can use the while, do while also. Next we have the functions. Here I declared one function definition. So in this Arduino area we can give the declaration, or we can't do also. If it doesn't do any function declaration also, it doesn't give any error because it will take the directly itself. So this is the function definition, how we define. So in this, int add of int x comma int y. So int is the return type and add is the function name, and these are the parameters passed to the function. So this is the function body and this is the return value, the function header. So the same thing like C. So here we can declare the like we can define our function below the loop also or above the loop also, loop function. Okay, next we have string. So string is a data type derived in Arduino, which is array data type. So like normally in C++, Java, we have the string data type. In Arduino IDE also we have the string. So here we declared, so normally the string is nothing but a class actually. So by using this str object, we can call all the methods in this string class. So here string str equal to hello world. So by using this str we can call the methods of string. So I will give some example like one is str dot equals. Str is the object name dot equals. So equals is the method to find the string is string comparison thing. Okay, equals, if you pass this hello word in the str dot equals, then it will compare with the string. Then if it is matched, then it gives the boolean value. Okay, if it is not true, means the comparison is not correct or the different string is there, then it gives the boolean false. So like that we can find any character in the string by using the str dot find. The str means the name of our object dot find. So in that we can pass the character what we want to search. Okay, so this is about the string. And next, array. So an array is a collection of similar type of data items, and each data item is called an element of the array. So like in C language only, we can declare the array. This is an integer array of 4 elements, 10, 20, 30 and 40. So each element will be represented with the subscript value. So by using the subscript value, we can get the value of the array. So array of 0, we get the first integer value 10. And next we have 20, array of 1 20, array of 2 30, array of 3 40. So we like this can use the string like character array also, like string array, character array, like that also we can use it. Next we have the type. So these are the predefined methods in Arduino IDE functions. So these will be used for normally for the time duration. Okay, time calculation like that. Okay, so delay, already we have seen this one in delay in previous program. So delay is used to process the program for amount of time. So it will be stop the execution of the program for certain time. So this will be given in the argument will should be in the milliseconds. So specified as parameter there. So for normally is 10,000 like 1000 milliseconds is equal to nothing but 1 second. So this is the syntax how we use this delay function. So delay of milliseconds, we can pass the milliseconds of time. So if you want to pass the program for 1 second, then we have to pass 1000. So 1000 is nothing but 1 second. Okay, if you want to uh, stop the execution of the program for 10 seconds, then we have to pass the 10,000, then it will be passed for 10 seconds. Like this we can use for delay function for stop the execution of the program for certain time. So next we have millis. So millis is a function, so it will return the number of return the milliseconds so past since the Arduino board began running the current program. So normally when we switch off the Arduino board, uh, one one program will be executed, like one timer will be started in backend actually. So that time will be given by this milliseconds. So it will millis. So it will return the milliseconds of time. What is the present milliseconds time? Okay. So returns the number of milliseconds passed since the Arduino board began. So this number will be overflow go back to zero after approximately 50 days. So it will be goes on incrementing approximately of 50 days. Okay. So millis will give the return value in milliseconds only. So after the start of Arduino. So this millis function can be used to calculate the time duration for like normally in ultrasonic sensor. Like it will millis will be used for the time traveled by the sound waves. That will there it will be used actually. So millis. Okay, in DHT level sensor also we can use this milliseconds. So to calculate the each pulse duration from one pulse to next pulse. So there it will be used actually. Okay, next Arduino function. So these are the basics IO function actually. So the first one is pin mode. So pin mode configures the specified pin to behave either as an input or an output. See, so the pin mode is used to make the digital pins either it should be sliced as input or output. So if you want to make if you want to make the input, like if you want to read the data from sensor or something like that, then we have to make the digital pin to make it as input. Okay, initialize with input. If you want to give an and some data to sensor, something like that, if you want giving in controlling, so then we have to make that pin as output. So by using this pin mode we can make it that. So pin mode, the syntax will be like this: pin mode. So m should be capital over here. So and the two arguments will be text. So first one is the pin number. So the pin number is nothing but 0 to 13. So digital pin numbers, it will be used only for the digital pin. Okay, so 0 to 13, and the mode should be in only three values will be it will take. One is the macros, like input, output, input underscore pull up. Okay, input means we can take the value from the that pin, particular pin, and we can make control in the that particular pin by using this output mode. And input underscore pull up means it will be input, but it will be in high state. Okay, with it will make the pin as high. Next, digital write. So here digital write is used only for the digital pins only. So we can make the we can control the pin by using this digital write. So write a high or low value to the digital pin. So we can make that particular pin, digital pin, as high or low. So this is the syntax how we will use this digital write. So digital write, w should be capital of pin comma value. So the pin is nothing but the digital pin number 0 to 13, and the value should be in high or low. So for high we can use like 1 also in the place of high. We can use low, a 0 in the low in the place of low. Okay, so if you give the high, then it gives the produce the 5 volts. If it is low means it produces 0 volts. So like that we can control any digital pin by using this digital write function. So here it will take only two values. One is the pin number and the value. That should be in value should be in okay, or low. This should be in capital. Okay, so this is an macro. Okay, next we'll go to the next function, digital read. So digital read means read the value from a specified digital pin. So this will be used only for the digital pin. Okay, so read the value from a specified digital pin. So this will actually it return the value either high or low. So digital write doesn't give any return value, but this we are getting an return value. So here this is the syntax digital read of pin. So we can specify only the pin number, that it should be in the range of 0 to 13. Okay, digital pin numbers. So returns high or low. Okay, so it will high means 1 and low means 0. Next we have analog read. So reads the value from a specified analog pin. So this analog read useful only for the analog. Okay, syntax will be analog read of pin. So the pin will be given only with the in the range of A0 to A5. Okay, so the analog read R should be capital over here, and the number analog input to read the from the A0 to A5. So returns the value. Actually here the analog ADC will be in the 10 digit number. So that's why we get the digital value in the range of 0 to 1023. So the analog reading on the pin, return the analog reading on the pin. So all it is limited to the result of analog to digital converter, because it's an 10 bit ADC now, so 2 power of 10, so it is 1024. So that's why we get the range value in the range of 0 to 1023. So this is the digital value of the analog form after converting of the digital value. So this analog read only used for the analog bits. Next we have analog write. Writes an analog value to a pin. So this analog write will be only used for the PWM pins. PWM pins nothing but the digital pin number 3, 5, 6, 9, 10, 11. So this will be used only for the PWM pins. So these will be used only for when you want the PWM wave to any controlling like DC motors like this. Then only we have to use these pins for controlling the speed of a DC motor or LED fading. Like that we can use this analog write. So this is the syntax analog write of pin comma value. So pin means nothing but the pin number of digital pin number PW pin, and the value should be in the range of 0 to 255. So the pin should the pin to write to allow data type int. Okay, and the duty cycle. So the next second argument is the duty cycle, that should be in the range of 0 to 255. If you want the 100%, then we can give the 255 value. So if you want a 0%, then we can give the 0, always off. Okay, if you want the 50%, then we can give the half of this 255 means 125, something like that. Okay, approximately. So like that we can give the duty cycle in the second argument. So this should be in the range of 0 to 255 only. Okay, so this is about the analog write. Next we have the interrupts. So interrupts in Arduino, we have the two interrupts, external interrupts, that is the pin number 2, digital pin number 2 and 3. So the first parameter to be attached interrupt, so is an interrupt number. So the first parameter of attached interrupt is the interrupt number. So normally we should use the digital pin to interrupt of pin. So this is the predefined function to make the interrupt number by using this digital pin to interrupt function to translate the actual digital pin to specific interrupt number. So you can see the syntax over here. So attach interrupt of digital pin to interrupt. So this is the function which will make the pin number to the interrupt number. Then the second argument is nothing but the ISR, means interrupt service routine. So this is the function name what we want to execute when the interrupt is happen. So this is the function we will execute only when the interrupt is happen. Okay, next we have the third one is the mode. So mode means we have the four modes actually. So this is low, change, rising and falling. Okay, so low means the to trigger the input whenever the pin is low. So when it is low, it will trigger the input interrupt. Okay, when it is low, the function will be executed, nothing but the ISR, interrupt service routine. So changes, so it will, whenever the changes will happen, like if it is high, when it goes low, then function will be executed. So if it is low, for suppose it make it as high, then the change will be happen, so the function will be executed. Then rising, so rising means nothing but the low to high, whenever the pin goes to low to high, so the pulse should be goes to from low to high, then the rising will be happen. This is the mode, then the function will be executed. If you are using as falling means, so whenever the pin goes from high to low, then the falling will be happen, then this function will be executed. Depending on our requirement, we can use these modes. Okay, so this is about the interrupt. Here we can use the pin as 2 and 3. Okay, so this is about interrupt. So next we have serial communication. So normally used for serial communication, used for the communication between an Arduino board and a computer or any other devices. So in Arduino we have only one serial port, so that is for the digital pin number 0 and 1. So here UART, we have in this Arduino we have only one UART. Okay, so this UART is used to with some predefined methods. So for serial communication we can use the some predefined methods. So serial communication is nothing but, so UART and USART will be happen. So 0 and 1 will be used to communicate with Arduino, with two Arduino boards, or Arduino with like laptop, computer, something like that. So here one more thing I have to say. So whatever the program we are dumping into the Arduino board, that will be happen by using this UART only. Okay, so the whatever the program is we are writing, that will be burned into the Arduino board by using this UART pins only. Okay, so here whenever we want to use this serial communication, we have to configure the serial communication by using this method, serial dot begin of baud rate. So baud rate is nothing but number of bits per second. So we have a lot of baud rates. So I gave only two, 9600 and 15200. So 9600 is the default baud rate for laptop also. In some other devices like GSM, GPS, these are all the also their default baud rate is 9600. Okay, let's see the functions of serial communication. So serial dot print is a function prints data to the serial port. So it will transmit the serial data, whatever the serial data we gave in this. So that will be transmitted over the UART pins. So normally I told no, so UART is nothing is communicated with laptop. So by using these pins only. So whenever we give this serial dot print, so that will be displayed in Arduino IDE. Here we have one option serial monitor in Arduino. So serial monitor means that we send one serial, like whatever the serial data is comes from the laptop, from that USB port, that will be displayed in the serial monitor console. Okay, so whatever the string we are transmitting from this Arduino, that will be displayed in serial monitor. So we can use in two ways: serial.print of val. So whatever the string we want to transmit. And next we have serial.println. So println is nothing but ln means nothing but next line. So it prints the next cursor goes to the next line. That's it. Okay. So val to be prints whatever the data we want to give. So that will be given in the first argument. Next, serial dot available. So normally there is a buffer will be there actually. So that buffer will be of 64 bytes. So that buffer is called as serial receive buffer. So whatever the transactions happen, that will be, or if you receive any data from laptop for suppose, so that will be stored in receive buffer only. So that will be stores the holds the data of 64 bytes. So let's see, serial dot available means get the number of bytes available for reading from the serial port. So it will check the received buffer. Okay, so what in buffer how many characters is there, it will check for the number of characters in that buffer. So it will return the value of the number of characters received in, I means present in receive buffer. Okay, so here we can see the syntax serial dot available. Okay, it return the value number of bytes available to read. So if it is no data is present, so it will return 0. If for suppose if we have 10 bytes of data, then it will return the 10. Like that we can get the, we can check that whether there is any data from serial device or not by using this serial dot available function. So this is about serial dot available. Next, serial dot find. So I already told now serial receive buffer will be there, that will be stores the serial data. So this serial dot find will check that in that buffer only. So whatever the string we want to find search, so that will be search in this serial buffer until the target string of given length is 4. So the function returns true if the target is 4, false if it times out. Okay, there is a time limit will be there. If it time out, then it will return false. If not, the string is not found. Okay, so serial dot find of target. So target is nothing but our string, which string we want to search for. So serial dot find string target comma length. So we can search for in a length of data. If you want to search first 10 bytes for suppose, we can give 10. So it will search only in the starting 10 bytes of data. So this is about the serial dot find. So the return value should be in boolean only. Okay, true or false. So here the length should be in the data type size underscore t. Okay, so the target should be in the data type of char. Okay, string should, the char should be there, it should be in character data type. Next, I2C. So I2C is inter-integrated circuit, is a system for serial data exchange between the microcontrollers and specified integrated circuits for a new generation. So here, like UART only, this I2C communication. So the I2C communication is different from UART actually. So this we can use only for in a short distance of two boards, like two devices. Okay, so or maybe in the same region, it should be in the same also, or short distance between two boards. So here we have two wires. So one is data, one is clock. So I2C is nothing but we have two pins, like one should be data and one should be clock. Okay, so here uh, I2C in Arduino, we have the I2C will be used for specifically two pins only. So that is given to A4 and A5. So A4 is the data pin and A5 is the clock pin. So we can see the I2C communication between two Arduino boards. So we can use this I2C communication. We can connect the two Arduino Uno boards also. So the four 4 is nothing but the analog pin A4. So A4 is connected to the A4 of second Arduino board, and A5 is connected to the second Arduino board. Like this we can communicate by using this I2C communication. The ground should be grounded. Okay, so the board should be ground, then only the communication will be happen. So this is the I2C communication. Next, SPI. So SPI is nothing but serial peripheral interface bus. So it's a system for serial communication which uses up to 4 connectors. We have the 4 wires. In this SPI we have to use the 4 wires. 4 wires means 4 connecting wires between 2 devices. Commonly 3. So one connector is for data receiving and one for data sending. One for the synchronization and one for alternative for selecting a device to communicate with. So SPI we can use for multiple slaves. Here we can use multiple slaves. So one should be master, and so the second device will be the slave. Okay, so like that slave will be in multiples. Okay, so for the multiple selection, like which slave should be treated as the data input, then we have to use this fourth one. Then only we can select that particular slave, then the communication will be happen with master and the particular slave. Okay, so the maximum baud rate higher than the I2C communication. So so for SP also we have used the specified pin should be we have to use. So that is the pin number, digital pin number 13, 12, 11, 10. So 10 will be changed actually, it's not the mandatory. So this 3 should be mandatory. Okay, so D13 will be used for clock, and D2 will is for MISO. MISO is nothing but master in slave out, and D level is nothing but MOSI. MOSI means master out slave in. So shift select for the save selection. Okay, so this is the SPA. We can use 2 Arduino boards for SPA communication. So like this. So the digital pin number 13 is connected to the 13 of the second Arduino. 12 is connected to the second Arduino board. 12. 11 is connected to the 11th pin of second Arduino, and 10 is connected to the second Arduino 10th pin. So the ground should be so both should be grounded. Then only the communication will be happen. Like this we can use the SPA communication. So we can use the multiple Arduinos over here. So the one should be Arduino master and the second one will be the slave. And so this is the example for the blink LED. So we can, this is the program to blink an LED. So we can see this coding part, void setup. So serial dot begin of 9600. So see here serial dot begin is 9600 for the serial communication. So pin mode of 13 comma output. So here the first one is the pin number and the next one is the mode to be used, that particular pin will be used. So here we are making the output. So because I am making the controlling the LED, so that's why I will initialize the pin as output. So I am using the pin number 13. So after that setup executed, so control goes to the loop function. So here digital write of 13 comma high. So digital write, so we are making the pin, we are using the pin 13 and we are making the mode is, the value is high. So we are switch on the LED. Then we are printing on the console by using the serial.println LED on, and we are using the delay function with the 1000 milliseconds equal to 1 second. So we are stopping the execution of the program over here for 1 second. So after that it goes to the next instruction, digital write 13 comma low. So we are making the LED off here. So low means 0 was the my LED will be off. After that we are printing on the LED, like on the serial monitor, that LED is off for 1 second of duration. After executing this last instruction, control goes to the again in the first instruction of the loop. So it will be goes on iterative, like 1 second for on, 1 second for off. So we can like we can show the blinking will be happen for 1 second of duration. So like this LED blinking will be happen only for the digital pin number 13. We can use more number of LEDs also. Then so this is the connection. So LED will have the two terminals, one is the positive, one is the negative. So negative is grounded and positive is connected to the digital pin of Arduino. Next, LED control. So here LED control is nothing but by using the switch. Like if you want to switch a switch, if you press and switch, then only the LED will be glows. So this is the program to make it like that. So serial dot begin 9600 pin mode of 13 comma output. This is for LED, and pin mode 8 comma input underscore pull up. So this will be treated as input. This pin will be input, but we are making the pin as high. So this is nothing but input underscore pull up. Next, if of not digital read of 8, so we are reading the switch. 8 is connected to the switch actually. So if it is if the switch is pressed, then digital read gives the low value, so that is nothing but 0. So if not of 0, so not of 0 means 1. So if of 1 condition goes true, then it will make the digital write of 13 comma high means LED on. So we are making the LED on, so we are printing on the serial console as LED on. So like this we can make it on. So if it for suppose the switch is not pressed, then the written value of digital read is 1. So not of 1 means 0. So if condition goes false, then control goes to the else part. So here we are making the LED off. So we are printing on the console as LED off. So it goes on iterative. So it will check for the every time with that is switch is pressed or not. If it is switch is pressed, then only the LED will be on. So here we have to press and hold the switch, then only the LED will be on state. Okay, if you release the switch, then it goes to the else part, and we are making the LED off. So this is how to control LED by using a switch. Next, LED fade. So the brightness increasing. Okay, so here we use analog one LED, one potentiometer of 10K something like that. So potentiometer is used to vary the brightness of the LED. So how to do this? So we see the program. Serial dot begin of 9600 pin mode of 9 comma output. See here is 9 should be the PWM pin. So for brightness controlling we should use only the PWM pins only, because because the PWM will works only with these pins. Okay, so it should the 9 is the PWM pin, and we have to initialize that the mode is output. Next, after that it goes to the loop function. We have created one variable, local variable int val. So val equal to analog read of A0. So A0 is connected to the potentiometer. Okay, so analog read will return the value in the range of 0 to 1023. So that value will be written, that we are storing in val. Okay, so after that we are calling map function. So map function will use takes 5 arguments actually. So the why we are using map function means, so analog write, whatever the analog write is there, that is the PWM write function is there, that will takes only the value in the range of 0 to 255. So map is the function to make this 0 to 1023 to mapping this value to 0 to 255. So this will be converted into in the range of 0 to 255. Okay, that's why we are using this mapping function. So in the first argument we have to give the whatever the read value from the analog pin. Okay, so next 0 to 102, this is the range given by the analog read, and this the range we want. Okay, so it will return, the map will return the value in the range of 0 to 255. So that will be written and that will be stored in val. So analog write of 9 comma val, that will be given to that particular PWM pin 9. So then whenever we are adjusting the potentiometer, then the respective value will be given to the PWM pin, then that will be varied. Next, so this is the connection how we will make. So this LED will have the negative and positive terminal is given to the PWM pin 9, and negative terminal is connected to the ground. And here potentiometer will have 3 pins. One is the middle one is given to the A0 analog pin A0, and the second 2 pins, okay, that will given to, one is given to the 5 volts, and the next one is given to the ground. Like this we can connect the LED and the potentiometer. Next we have the Arduino ID. How the ID will be visible and what are the options we have. So here we can observe that menu bar, so file, edit, sketch, tools, help, like this. And after that we have this options, separate options. This is for the verify, is nothing but the compile, so compile the program. And this is upload is nothing but to bound this code to Arduino board. Okay, and next we have the new, so new file. So open all the open the existing file, save the present file. This is save for present file. And here right side we can observe that one icon will be that such icon, that is nothing but serial monitors. This is for serial communication between the Arduino and the laptop. Okay, whatever the serial print option we are using in Arduino, that will be printed in this serial monitor only. Then we have the text editor. This is our main program we will write over here, and this is the output. So after compilation or uploading anything, so that will be the output result will be displayed over here. Any errors also it will be displayed over here also, here only. Okay, so here in the bottom we can observe that Arduino Uno and Arduino or Genuino Uno. So which board we are using, selected, that board will be displayed over here, and the COM port. So this is the port we are using to communicate with the Arduino, that will be displayed over here. So here is the COM net. So if you want to change the COM port, then we can go with the tools. Next we have the sub menu as port. There we can choose the particular COM port which is it is connected, Arduino which it is connected. Okay, like this we can use this Arduino IDE. So that's all about here. Thank you for watching.